Voodoo Forge, and I need some things on this side of the shop. I need to have a permanently mounted vise on this side of the shop. I need somewhere to put my belt grinder. So I've got some material that I've had laying around for quite some time. I think I need another workbench. So let's get on it. This is my tabletop, and this is actually the drop from when I built the table that it is sitting on. And this has been laying outside, I don't know, a couple of years now. But this is 3/8 steel, 2 foot by 4 foot. And the first thing I gotta do is clean some of this funk off of here. I'm just eyeballing this. It's not super important. Can't even get my square on here. Real quick before I paint this, I want to mark my holes for the table I'm going to put this on. Here's a trick for marking this big hole. I've got a 1-inch socket, and there we go. So I've hit a stopping point. I've got to drill my holes here. Now the plan was to use a buddy of mine's mag drill, but his motor's out in his mag drill, so I don't want to hand drill these big holes. So I've got my assistant, and she's going to help me get this plate onto this cart to the drill press. Yep. Yep. Okay, you see those center punches?
Are these?
Yeah. Let me get it lined up there. Steady pressure. Not too much, just steady. Holes cheap.
And the cans don't cooperate.
Set her down. Much as I hate tapping holes, sure I've been tapping a lot lately. I'm using 1x2 for the bracing under the table, and then I picked up a standard receiver hitch that I've got to fix to go under here. What I need to do is take this lip off the side. So the side that, you know, these holes are not on. Once it's cut off, I just got to clean it up. Now I need to clean a lot of this powder coating off so I can weld it. Now that we've got it ground off everywhere where we might want to weld it, and it'll sit nice and flat, we can put this together. After getting everything together, I've had to slightly modify my design because the hole in the receiver wasn't going to have really enough room, so I moved these back an inch. I think it'll still have plenty of stability. I'm not going nuts or anything. I'm just going to weld these from the bottom, which is the top right now. And I'm not trying to dump too much heat in this thing and warp it, so I'm just tacking the top, or technically the bottom, right now. Now, over the next, I don't know, I've got several things to do in the shop, and just here so often, I'm going to finish welding this up. I don't want to get too much heat in one spot at one point in time, because I want this to remain nice and not warped. Okay, so I want the legs to be notched out to where they sit all the way up to the table top. So I'm going to be leaving the part that I just marked. That should get us our desired effect. Yep. So here's the plan on the legs. On the back two, I'm gonna put them like this, where they're inside, and on the front two, where this piece extends, we'll put them like that, and that should give everything all the support it needs. Working on my feet for the table, and I need a 3/4 inch hole in this, but all my bits 3/4 and larger are jacked up right now, and I don't want to go to town. Then I remembered, you're a blacksmith, Brandon, you can do other things. Step one, I'm going to drill with the biggest bit I have, which just so happens to be 1/2 inch right now. There we go. Step two, I'm going to get it warm. Once it's hot, then step three, carry it to the swage block. It takes more than one trip. That it's big enough, I'll throw in the press and flatten it off. Step number, I don't remember what step we're on. The last step. Cut it to size. Took it over to the belt sander, polished it up, centering it on this 3/4 bolt, because I've got about an 1/8 inch of play all the way around. I want to get it snug, and then Couple of things about this weld we're about to do. Yes, this is galvanized. Yes, you should not weld galvanized. Fact is, the shop doors are open, it's very well ventilated, and I'm not welding much, so I'm willing to take that risk. Don't worry, it's probably not gonna kill me. Not telling you to do it, just don't tell me what to do right now. It's not like I'm welding a whole bunch of galvanized. Second of all, my ground is attached to the plate. If you attach a ground through a vise, you can screw up the screw in that vise. Because I've got some other things going on and time is not an issue, I'm actually letting these cool in my welding vise. Now for the feet, I'm going to leave the bolt in the nut, got it in the vise here. I sanded the back of this bolt here smooth. I've got a hole drilled in my piece I'm using for the foot, and I'm going to plug weld it on here. Everything's nice and cool now, so grind it flat. Before I attach the legs, I'm going to attach the feet. I've got everything square, so I'm going to tack this leg on. This MIG is only a 190, so it's not going to burn very deep welds into this 3/8, but I'm going to stitch weld it a couple of places just to hold it to the base. This is either going to work or crush me. Oh, it's not seeming good. Oh. There we go. If you don't know why I put the receiver hitch on, it is for vices and things that I don't have on all the time. I put them on all the workbenches I build now, and it's really handy. Not that I need to use a pipe vise right now, but it's nice to have that. The real main reason I built this was to have a place to put this thing. I love it, but I didn't have room for it on the workbench it was on. Well, there it is, the finished product. I really needed somewhere to put my belt grinder. I needed a permanently mounted vise on this side of the shop, so this takes care of both of those needs and gives me a little more workspace when I'm using my big table for something. I'm sure I'm going to add a shelf or two later, but I really needed this thing done. So I will get that done later. And really, with the exception of the receiver tube, everything on here, and the bolts that I used in the feet, but everything else on here was scrap that I had laying around. I know you might not have the same kind of scrap as I do, but there's a scrap yard somewhere. There's, you know, hunt around, find stuff. This is, this doesn't have to be an expensive project. Well, y'all, that's it. I'm tickled this is done. I'm glad I've got a good big heavy vise permanently mounted over here again. I don't feel like you can have enough vices in a shop. It's vice with an S, not a C, I think. Unless it's the other way around. But anyway, I'm not talking about bad habits. I'm talking about vices. And this takes some space that really all I was doing was storing my engine hoist over here and then piling junk on top of that. So now I have to store my engine hoist somewhere else and pile junk on top of it. Right over there, next to where it was. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of this, and y'all behave yourselves.